All right, brothers and sisters, good morning. It is Monday, and we're going to just breeze through chapter 7. Chapter 7, 7 and 8, but we're going to breeze through chapter 7. Chapter 7 is all about David's prayer and God's covenant with David. God promises to make a house for David. God establishes David's kingdom by his son. He tells David that his son's going to build the temple and God will establish his throne forever. David then gives a prayer of thanksgiving, and when David is established, at the end of chapter 7, God tells David that your house will be established forever. Now, in chapter 8, we start off with David attacking the Philistines, and he subdued them and took Metheg Ammah, which was the mother city of all of the Philistine cities. He took the capital, basically, and then all the other cities fell. David is now established by God, given favor by God, and making a name for himself with the mighty army of Israel and the mighty men. And they're coming together, and they are just collecting cities and all in the Israel territory to establish the kingdom, to establish Israel. And David is just making a name for himself because God gives him favor. David goes and forces the Moabites down, and he measures them out. With one line, he kills them. With two lines, he saves them. And then he gets the horses over, what was it? The Moabites he kept alive, that he did not kill. They became servants to David and gave tribute. Then David went against Hadadezer, the king of Rehob. And he goes and destroys them. Sorry, Hadadezer was a son of Rehob, the king of Zobah. All these words, forgive me. And David went and recovered the territory, and he took that day 1,000 chariots, 700 horsemen, 20,000 foot soldiers. But David hamstrung. He hamstrung 100. He hamstrung all the horses from the chariots, but kept 100 for himself. And when you hamstring a horse, you're cutting the back like the tendons, so they can't really gallop fast. They can walk, but they can't run. So those horses are no longer good for war, or maybe not even good for farming, because they don't have the strength to do what they need to do. So David goes and now he takes Hadadezer, the king. He also goes and fights the Syrians of Damascus. He wins then and whoops them. He takes all their shields and all their gold. Now, as David's conquering these cities, he's taking all the spoils, all the silver, all the gold, all the bronze, all the shields, all the great things that those people had, and he was getting it and he's dedicating it to the Lord. Not keeping it for himself. He's dedicating all the spoils to God because God's giving him the territory to recover, and David's giving him all the spoils to honor God. So he goes now, and as he goes and deals ahead of Hadadezer, Toi, the king of Hamath, heard this and sent his son Joram to pay tribute and say, hey man, we appreciate you because right now you defeated a king that was at war with us, and the fact that you snuffed him, we appreciate you. And they became David's servants too. So now, as David's out there fighting all of these kingdoms and defeating them, it says here that the Lord preserved David and David was established. He made a name for himself as a king, as a man of war, as a man that obeyed God. And as he went out there and he made war and won by trusting in the Lord, God strengthened him. And I love that because today is a monumental day, brothers and sisters. If you've been following me for a bit, I'm gonna turn myself in. I got a traffic ticket that caused a violation or a probation thing back in the day, and 30 days I got to do. Allegedly, I don't know, but pray for me. So you might not see me from me. You might not see this from me for a while unless they allow it in there. But it just blesses me to know that as I go in there and trust the Lord with all this stuff, and God just starts to redirect and re-enter my life completely as I surrender to Him. I'm excited to see what He does. I'm excited to see the people I will meet in there, the different kinds of battles, the spiritual warfare. Just pray for my kids because they're having a hard time that Daddy's going to possibly get thrown in there for a while. So, again, as God establishes me in my environment, as I trust in Him, I pray that the Lord establishes you as you walk in obedience. So, David's out there right now just conquering these cities. And, what blesses me is that God just doesn't give them to David. David has to put armor on. He has to go to war. David has to do his part. God says, I'm going to give it to you, but David has to do his part. And many times we just want to sit there and be blessed. We want God to hand stuff over to us when, we got to put in the work. We got to put in the work so that we can trust in the Lord and what he's going to do. We're no longer on the milk where God's going to feed us. We're on the meat. We got to, get the chewing going. We got to put some work in with our jaws and digest it. So, brothers and sisters, I love you. I'm going to stop right there at the end of verse 14. Have a blessed Monday. God willing, I can talk to you tomorrow. If not, then I will see you in 30 days. Peace be with you all. Remember, choose wisdom over the world. God bless.